This is Shawn Johnson, now a world champion. How about that from the United States? On the vault.
And all of the top 6 athletes are seated, and they all begin in the same rotation on vault.
Pretty much what it's looked like all week long for Shawn Johnson. A very safe, a very confident vault. Start values are important here in the all-around competition. This one begins out of a 5.8. There are others who will have a more difficult vault in this competition.
Now, the one thing the American women can think about themselves, we made some big mistakes and we still won the gold medal, and we can be better than that.
They certainly can. They're the best team in the world. There's anybody that says that they're not, they don't know what's going on. They are the best team in the world. And frankly, 4 hit routines from this young lady, and she's the best in the world too.
15.175 for Shawn Johnson on the vault. Now the other American that qualified is Nastia Liukin. It was a day of redemption for her. She didn't take part in all 4 events, but she was a big reason why the United States won that gold medal. Her performance on the uneven bars was staggering.
Spectacular. An easier vault here. This is a Yurchenko 1.5. Still looks a little bit tentative to me. She told us that, you know, she's been battling this ankle injury for upwards of a year at this point in time. She says it's about 95% back. She doesn't think it'll ever all the way feel like it used to.
But she just deals with it.
And it certainly comes into play mostly on vault and then on floor exercise.
She is still spending a lot of time dealing with those ankle wraps. 14.75 for Nastia Liukin. This is Jade Barbosa from Brazil.
And this can be huge because she's, I believe, the only athlete in contention that is.
Which means that if she did it perfectly, she could get a 16.5. And you are right. 15.9 with the step out of bounds. So that's a wrap on the first rotation. The women move to the uneven bars. This is the World Gymnastics Championships delivered by AT&T. After the first of 4 rotations, Jade Barbosa actually leads in this battle for the all-around gold medal. 2 American women have qualified, Shawn Johnson and Nastia Liukin. And both are challenging.
And she can vault right up to the top of the standings on bars.
She certainly has proven that all week long at these championships.
Oh, Elfie, she was unbelievable in the team final on this.
Posting one of the highest start values, not to mention the choreography on this apparatus is just exquisite. Look at those perfect lines.
It's not just that she does really hard stuff, it's that she does it exceptionally well. She looks like she's playing like a little kid on a playground. She's swinging around, but there's a lot going on. Small little step on the landing, but going to get a huge number. That, of course, her coach and father, Olympic and world champion, Valery Liukin.
And of course, the only other athletes that we've watched on the stage that even compare to this type of work are the Chinese gymnasts. Very similar in style.
Beautiful. Watch this release here. This is a Ginger. Flies high in the air, and look at the toes.
She gets the highest score in this all-around so far.
And they knew that after round 1 that she would be down. But they were hoping after this event that she'd be right near the top of the standings, and I think that's where it'll put her.
Shawn Johnson in the same neighborhood. In third after the first rotation. All the scores count. There are no do-overs. This is so important for her in considering what she wants to get out of the Olympic Games next August. This experience, huge, right, Tim?
Absolutely unbelievable. And she has the goods to do it. You just look at her and you feel calm, you know? Other gymnasts, they're letting go of the bar, doing these major release skills, and you always kind of catch your breath a little bit. But Shawn, she's just right there. Here comes another one. Boom, every time.
And not only is she consistent, but you have to consider the fact that this is now her third all-around competition in the team qualifying. She did all 4 events for Team USA. In the team finals, she performed all 4 events. So this is her third all-around competition and a huge routine. It's a lot of gymnastics.
There with her coach, Chow, and she said that her Olympic quest is probably a little bigger than some of the other athletes because getting to compete in Beijing, the homeland of her coach, the guy that made it all possible for her, it just would be extra special.
She walked into Chow's gym the day it opened.
It's a great story. And I tell you, you just don't find athletes like this. Sometimes you find them that are physically gifted like she is or have the head, but she's got both of it.
A 15.375 for Shawn Johnson. We'll see how those performances jumbled the standings in this battle for gold. In Stuttgart, after 2 rotations in this battle for the all-around gold, silver, and bronze, Shawn Johnson has to make up some ground. Nastia Liukin has been very impressive, tied for the lead with this woman, Jade Barbosa of Brazil. Shawn Johnson actually is in 5th place.
Actually was watching Jade's performances from the Pan American Games earlier this summer, and I thought, wow, this kid has great gymnastics, hard gymnastics, just like that mount on the balance beam. She's not afraid to take risks.
It's a powerhouse. The main reason why she is the co-leader at this point is because her first event, she started on vaulting, and of all the other contenders, her start score 7/10 higher than anybody else.
Well, and also the fact that her coach, Oleg Ostapenko, who coached Lilia Pakapayeva in 1996 to the all-around Olympic champion spot, I mean, he knows a little something about producing champions, and he's done a very good job with this young lady.
No question.
Very sure of herself. She's had a lot of elements, and I said she started off her routine with a lot of difficulty, and she ends with the same amount of difficulty. Check this out. Full length of the beam, round off flip-flop, double pike. It's a great set.
Well, she's not going away.
A lot of difficulty in this exercise, and as Elfie stated, travels the entire length of the beam for this dismount sequence. She's doing a great job.
Big score, 15.7 for Jade Barbosa. Next, we'll watch Shawn Johnson on the balance beam. She admitted to us, you Elfie, after the team competition, that she let the beam get in her head a little bit, and this was the result of that.
She was a little bit nervous after Nastia Liukin fell off the beam. It kind of rattled her a little bit. But I've been watching her warm-ups, paying very close attention to what she did in her 30-second warm-up. And she was extremely solid. So I think she's perhaps back on her game.
Here it is. Well, oh, geez.
Good save.
Good save. Almost a carbon copy, but holds on. It'll be a slight deduction, but certainly not the 8/10 she would have received if she had come off the beam. Another big one right here, back with a full.
Gosh, that's a nice skill. Full twist.
so powerful. Little bit of balance checks, but
a couple little arm misplacements here and there. Become accustomed to watching Shawn on balance beam and every other event, I suppose, where, you know, you sit back and you just watch her perform. You know she's going to be spot on, and this has been a little bit less than her perfect self.
Pretty darn good when you don't have to be perfect and you can still be world champion. There's one major element remaining: dismount. Only gymnasts I've seen do this at these worlds. Full twisting double.
She'll take that score.
That is a huge event for Shawn Johnson to have out of the way.
That will serve her well when she's in the same position, perhaps somewhere down the line. I think it was good for her. It probably doesn't feel good. It was probably good for her to have a major mistake in a competition like this.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more, because it got to the point where we watched her at the American Cup, the Pan American Games, national championships, and I thought, does this kid ever make a mistake? And I was a bit shocked when we saw her in the first day of team competition and she fell on her bar dismount. Right. I thought, wow, okay, she's human. Well, she's human.
She learned a lot. You know, she learned some lessons, but she still comes away world champion. And possibly here in the all-around, too.
Now to Nastia Liukin, who was tied for the lead, remember, after the second rotation. Jade Barbosa did well. She didn't crumble. And now Liukin's got to keep pace.
If she does what she's capable, she will go into the last rotation with a pretty big lead. She's certainly capable of getting into the 16s. And if she's going to need to do that, because floor is not her strongest event. It can still happen for Nastia Liukin.
And this skill coming up right here is a big test for her.
Layout and
off.
That'll do it right there. 8/10 for falling. She'll lose the value of the skill. Her start score will go down.
She tried everything to stay on that beam.
You know, and she really, it's not an easy pass for her. She definitely has dealt with it at these world championships up until then, but it is not something that is a easy thing for her.
The crowd was really nice when she got back on.
They've actually been very supportive here in Stuttgart.
Of all athletes.
Yeah, really cheering them on. And I'll tell you, it's the last thing in the world you want to hear, though. Yeah. It's when you're standing on the ground, you got to jump back up again. It doesn't make you feel any better.
Remember, in the team competition, she had problems and balked on the dismount.
A little bit long right here, too, kind of getting her bearings.
Well, you can see the exasperation, and that's the look that she had on her face at the recent national competition.
I think the problem actually preceded this combination of skills. She did a forward movement that connected into all of this backward stuff, and it actually had her a little bit offline, and it threw her off for all of those skills that were leading backwards. Too bad. 8/10.
It's going to really cause her to fall in the standings. We'll see how bad the damage is after this. The women's all-around has come down to the final rotation. This is the World Gymnastics Championships delivered by AT&T, and you can read the face of Nastia Liukin. Just a few minutes ago, everything went wrong on the balance beam. Teammates here to support her effort. They're going to take gold medals home, winning the team championship here in Stuttgart, Germany. And Jade Barbosa, the leader after the third rotation. Would either of you have predicted that?
No, I wouldn't have. But, you know, like I keep coming back to, that vault is such a huge prize for her.
She really has to just stand up all her tumbling passes, and she has a good shot at winning this event.
I think it's pretty weird, Tim, that the all-around gold medalist may have won the medal in spite of stepping out of bounds on the vault.
Huge mistake.
Oh, this is not good.
Well, it opens the door wide open for Shawn Johnson. And another one rebounds out of that dismount.
That's a shame. She's going to replay those mistakes in her mind over and over again.
You could read her face a little bit. You know, it's still pretty darn exciting what's going on here.
This is a full twisting double somersault, and she's got plenty of power on it. Just doesn't hold on to her position long enough. Hands go down, knees brush the ground.
Ouch. A 14.0. That hurts big time. And right now we have no idea to what level she allowed herself to dream, whether she thought she could win this. This is Vanessa Ferrari. The Italian was the all-around gold medalist at the World Championships in Denmark a couple of years ago. Now she finds herself in 6th place.
She has just refused to go home. She came to these championships, has been battling with a foot and ankle injury. One of her first ever. Her coach said she's not used to dealing with the pain, but has been a trooper throughout these championships.
And even in today's competition, had a fall on the uneven bars and is battling back right to the final event.
Right now, at this very moment, Shawn Johnson is sitting there in her own little world thinking, wait a minute, I might be able to win this here. Italy's Vanessa Ferrari. No repeat all-around gold medal here. The judges give her a 15.30. We'll see where that puts her. But right now, all eyes go on the woman from West Des Moines, Iowa. She needs better than a 14.10 for first place.
And that is easy for her. It's so ironic. She says, I've watched this, what's happening to me, happen to others before me, and I still can't believe it's me.
At one point, she was in 5th place. Well, I think the It Girl's about to become the Golden Girl and put herself on the shortest of lists. An American who can say she's the all-around gold medal world champion. That shot of Ferrari, that tells you how fast fame is fleeting in women's gymnastics.
Well, they hardly have them anymore, carbon copies, but this is the third one. 3 floor routines, and they were all phenomenal and all darn near perfect from Shawn Johnson in Stuttgart, Germany.
The score for Sandra Raluca East Pasha on board 14.65.
And she's got it, 15.425. One all-around gold medalist with a smooch for the other. The baton has been passed. And I think there's every reason to believe that next year in Beijing, this is going to be quite a fun battle to watch. So Shawn Johnson just continues to win. And the look on the face of Barbosa says, you know what? I think I should have or could have won this.
Yeah, I was right there. I was in the hunt.
Well, this is all by herself. That feels a lot different than a team championship, doesn't it, Tim?
Oh, yeah, no question. It's a totally different feeling. The team is fantastic and wonderful, but it's just different.
Now, Nastia Liukin, just to do the math, she needs a 16.45 for first place. The way the judges have been scoring this event, not happening.
Yeah, it can't be done.
Out of bounds.
But I'll tell you, she has so much to be proud about. Just a couple of weeks ago at the national championships, she looked like there was no way that she could be in this position, and she actually was very much in the hunt to challenge for a medal and even the gold until that slip off the balance beam.
For Nastia, there's a huge sense of relief that she can compete again in the all-around. That was her goal here at these championships, and I think she realizes she's going back home. There are things to work on, it's obvious, but there's relief that she can actually do 4 events.
Her dad, Olympic and world champion, Valeri Liukin. She will not be the world champion. That ankle still makes tumbling runs like that very risky and challenging for Nastia.
She's going to get a 14.675, which means she will not win a medal. And if you do the math, that one fall off the balance beam is the difference between a medal and no medal. And it's just a reminder, she'll be a player in Beijing. I don't think there's any question about that. But can you guarantee that she'll be healthy and she won't have, you can't do that.
No, you can't. But I firmly believe that this young lady has what it takes in every regard to still be on that plane to Beijing and to be fighting for not just a medal, but for the gold in the all-around.
Here is the final woman to go, Steliana Nistor of Romania. She needs a 16.225. She can't get a 16.225 because if you total up all her skills, she starts with a 16 and then works downward from there. So Shawn Johnson is going to win this.
she was a huge factor in the Romanians winning the bronze medal, and she is the one, the Romanian one, to fight for the medals here and in Beijing.
Led Zeppelin for floor exercise. I'm in favor of that.
Gotta love it.
Steliana Nistor of Romania may get a medal out of this. But we know one thing. Shawn Johnson has won the gold medal at the World Championships. That is a huge step. How big?
Well, it is. It's huge in that she has less than a year to go till Beijing. And look at her year. She has won every big title on the international stage. Now she believes she's world champion, and that is only going to help her confidence leading into Beijing.
All year long, we've talked with her about her schedule, what she's doing, winning this title, that title. She always referred to this competition as the big one. Every time well, then it's the big one. Well, not only was it the big one, she did it big time.
Jade Barbosa overwhelmed by her bronze medal. Nistor takes the silver, but those are golden hugs for Shawn Johnson of the United States. She is essentially undefeated and has handled every hurdle. The national champion, now world champion. But she's got something large standing in her way, and it's called history. No American woman has ever won a world championship and then gone on to win gold in the Olympics. Maybe she can handle that.